What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and the Smash Brothers, Super Smash Brothers community continues to implode with just claim after claim after claim after claim of just some totally heinous behavior from professional players as well as some large community members. The latest now is Sky Williams, who is a Super Smash Brothers personality, a comedian, YouTuber, vlogger, and, well, just all around YouTuber. He's best known for his YouTube and Twitch channels where he makes all sorts of content, including content around League of Legends. He's got he's got about 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and he's also a high skill player in Super Smash Brothers. What you didn't know about Sky Williams is he's often dealt with his own demons as well as some very, very, very poor behavior, and now the resounding backlash for that said poor behavior. It's all kind of culminating right now as the Super Smash Brothers community is cleaning itself out. Now, last night Sky Williams did what can only be described as a completely unhinged live stream in which he claimed that he was going to deal with or address all of the claims made against him. And of course, it was getting memed. He had first, one of the initial things he got backlash for was, of course, that he said that he would address everything in a twit longer. But then he decided to do a live stream and then monetize that live stream and lower the minimum threshold for donations to get more money, turn sub-only mode on, and monetize his whole what can only be described as train wreck statement. Now, Sky Williams is not somebody. Sky Williams is fragile, and that doesn't excuse his behavior. But given everything we just went through in this community with Wreckful, it does make me more cognizant of the fact that, look, the community is already handling it. Sky doesn't need any of us to go and pile on him. However, I will be cataloging everything that we know. Some of the funny memes are, I'm seriously watching a pet-enabling MF crying on stream with a head full of dandruff and Twitch chat spamming frogs. And yeah, I mean, of course. Now, what started all of this was really a huge, what really launched everything. There were all sorts of claims being made over the last week, but what we have is FF Sadie, or Sade, putting out a very long statement about how living with Sky Williams worked. Now, what you don't know is Sky Williams had a group of homes in which he would invite Smash Brothers players to live in. Some rooms housed 7 or 8 people in it. I can only describe the setup there as a slum. It's been jokingly memed that it was a dungeon because there was all these twists and turns and people were living in the garages. By the way, that doesn't seem legal to me. But anyway, I'm not going to read this whole thing because many people who are familiar with this already know. But, the quick intro is this person lived in the Sky Williams house from 2014 to 2018, and this is what they know. He had several houses. There were 4 households. I don't know much about the 2 before I lived there. I'll personally nickname the houses I lived in since the nicknames residents used specifically for the houses. So you had House A in Santa Monica, House B in LA, House C in Norco, and House D in Hacienda, which is the mansion. These are all very nice homes. Now, I don't know if Sky owned these and was subletting them to these people or what the case may be, but nonetheless, he had 2 rules. One was do not in any circumstance wake him up, and 2, you must notify Sky about any guests that intend to visit the house. The rules became a thing later than in House B. If you didn't follow the rules, there would be punishments depending on his mood. In this example, he threatened to break something of value in every room unless he was paid $350 cash. And this person has all of the receipts, of course. Here is Sky Williams saying, I'm not going to name names here at all, and I will keep this vague. If people therein would like to confess, I don't mind. My goal is not about any individuals. I saw a guest today. A guest that was not warned about in any facet of the media with no receipts. By the way, Sky has admitted to this. He has admitted this message is correct. Between the hours of 6 a.m. and 10, I will be breaking something of value value in each of your rooms, as I had clearly instructed of the house meeting. Or I can get $350 cash, no PayPal, no Chase Quick Pay, on my desk and before 6 a.m. This is final, no exceptions. Somebody replies, he then continues, hide your things of value if you must, but I'll find a way. Best of luck, you all. I'll be here waiting. If there should not be any questions, as my words are direct and clear. Nobody is exempt. Nobody, even people who pay rent. You may physically stop me, but if I feel I can't beat you in a fight, I will just call the police and have you escorted away. And I'm sure that you know I'm not kidding. Anyway, 6 a.m., $350. Good luck. Sky Williams has left the group. Now, this also talks about House B had a rule where the kitchen and living room must be cleaned every night, or else he raised rent via a 3-strike system for most of its residents, or certain privileges were taken away. Now, this person talks about the social hierarchy. That's not important to what I want to cover. Rooming. Rooming was extremely cramped in House C and D. In House A, there were 8 people in a single room. 2 bunks, Sky's bed, and everyone else on the floor. In House B and D, the garage was used as a bedroom with multiple people in it. A few individuals may have their own room if they paid a ton. House A through D were on high tier on social hierarchy in House D. Rent was split depending on the size of the room, how many people, normal stuff. But if Sky or a high-tier resident didn't like you, then the chance you had to pay an additional fee. There was communications, daily life. I don't really need to get into this. Residents were addressed by their real names or their smash tags or spirit animal nicknames that Sky gave us or racial-related nicknames that Sky gave us. Talks about privacy, spending, why no one spoke up. I can't speak for everyone, but people were scared. And that's the system in which people live. Now, what really makes this bad is essentially Sky knew that there were terrible things happening to kids there, underage kids. And also more stories of him coming out. You can see this Phil Nolan, who is a freelance and media videographer, saying, in late 2017, I was on a broadcast crew for an Amazon event. They flew out and put up a bunch of big Twitch influencers to play tablet games. Sky was thrown out for screaming at and physically trying to intimidate a female pro player backstage after losing. You can also say Deanna here saying, Sky Williams' house was never safe for minors or women. I stayed there twice when I was 16 and was repeatedly offered booze by adult men. And Sky told me multiple times to my face that he would refuse to learn my name because I was a woman. Interestingly. You know, and you see, I knew Greg in high school, and these claims about the way he talks to women absolutely tracks with how he's acted. He says here, I battled one claim today and since proven it not to be true. I will 100% give this the same treatment. I just don't have too much stamina left. So he's addressing a lot of these things. And what we see oftentimes is that there are many things that are true and many things that are not true in all these statements that come out. The only person yet to cover it, because the story is just breaking, Sky Williams addresses the claims of terrible situations happening at his house. Smash player and streaming personality Sky Williams addressed his stream Tuesday of the wave of the allegations recently made public and connecting some of the biggest names in the Smash scene to these actions of misconduct empowered by the ongoing movement in gaming, which has also far ousted multiple players' talent and personalities. The victims in the Smash community have been coming out in the past few days, sharing stories which even include all actions towards people under the age of 18. Several of the accused in the so-called Sky House in the Smash community households operated by Sky Williams, which hosts numerous Smash players of varying ages. Among those are Gonzalo Zero, we'll just say, and he was accused and admitted to interacting in a bad way with several minors, including Jacqueline Jisoo and Kirito, who also admitted having a relationship with a minor whom he met at Sky's house. Sky Williams spoke over 2 hours on stream before the broadcast was cut short. Why? Because a roommate of his or someone that lived at the house had to unplug the router because he was on an unhinged rant. He go on to say, what many people don't know initially is I sought counsel. What you I want you to know that my silence wasn't anything more than me making sure that this was a statement you can rely on and make a judgment upon so I can get the full scope of everything that happened. Quote, why it's happening now randomly, I realize I'm going to continue to keep waiting and trying to find a perfect way to respond to these things, but more things keep coming out. I knew that this house would one day explode. Sky Williams makes his opening statement. What you're about to hear is someone that, not a soul outside myself. There are things I kept private as time went on, a multitude of reasons, but it has nothing to do with silencing the victims or enabling those doing it. It was that I knew for the longest time that I was lying to myself, and I knew that I was completely over my head, that this house would one day end, but never in the world did I expect or want any of this. Sky Williams' opening statement read before the streamer went on to explain how the Sky houses are set up. Now, no matter how you slice it or how you look at it, I am guilty of harboring people at my home that gravely hurt others. At parties and things happen there. Sky admitted, adding, this wasn't intentional, as I will explain. I did not have knowledge of these misdeeds in the final Sky mansion. Sky Williams also mentioned that he had not been a victim of his house and named himself the first abuser. So now there's all sorts of, there's how it operates, screenshots made public where Sky threatens to break things. He talked about that and he admits it, basically. I was never able to relax, blah, blah, blah. Williams further admitted that he was a control freak and he felt people weren't contributing to the living conditions of the house, refusing to do simple chores like cleaning the kitchen. The biggest social problem, Williams clarified, was that he had no way to discipline anyone and that he would act childishly when he felt he wasn't being listened to. After a long list of chat logs, Jisoo added that she realized what she gave a start to potential end to Sky Williams' operations following the already massive wave of claims towards Top Smash personalities, which is why he was doing everything in his power to stop this from happening. After all these people were named, he knew he was next. He knew my story, and everything related to it was a nail in his coffin. So he tried to do everything to make me believe that he was on my side, despite never having told me any of these things years ago. Since I realized that, several other roommates started coming forward with their stories. It was clear to me that Sky was realizing he's about to face reality, and thus he's doing his best to try and manipulate not just me, but everyone closely involved to be on his side. He knows that if we all come forward, he's done. I don't think I have to say any of this, but I want you to recognize that this behavior of manipulation, gaslighting, and lying is disgusting and should not be forgiven. And you can go on to read all sorts of other terrible, terrible things. It's interesting to me, did Sky break any laws? I mean, I suppose if people can prove he knew that there were terrible things going on in his house, that's something. But he's getting destroyed. This is not how I wanted this to go. Sub-only mode, still accepting donations, lowering minimum donation amounts to encourage more donations. You can explain this or nah. And there's other claims here too, where he talks about, people say, hey, do a twit longer, and he does a live stream anyway, even though it's the least highly voted. And he deleted this. So he ended up monetizing it anyway, even though his fans said, and look, you shouldn't really be monetizing your apology videos in general. Taking live stream tips, not good. The Smash community is in shambles. And I'm hoping that for those that really love the game, that this can, it can rebuild. But it's interesting to me when we look at I'll finish on this interview, a statement that Sky Williams made back on December 9th.
Is unfixable. Yeah, go for it. Sorry.
Oh yeah. I'm a completely open book, so I won't struggle to talk about any topic.
Okay, thank you for that, man.
Just I guess I just feel that at this point in my life that I've corrupted so many people in my close friend group or my friend group in general that the habits that I've picked up to survive are so toxic that I don't know if they could be etched out of my mind.
Back in 2019, you can see Sky has always known that he's had very bad habits. This may very well be the end of Sky Williams, at least from his career perspective. As more information continues to develop, I'll continue to cover it here. Make sure you give this video a like and leave a comment down below. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing, as I'll continue to update you on this story. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.